Welcome everybody. This is Marcus Chakis from the Practice Mastery Institute, founder of the Practice Mastery Institute and author of the Practice Mastery Institute's bestseller, How to Become an Expert in Your Field, and creator of this tongue-in-cheek webinar, 13 Negative Characteristics, Traits and Vices You Must Have to Succeed in Practice. We're going to be discussing today 13 negative characteristics or traits and vices that are often perceived not positively within the community or within a practitioner mindset, particularly because practitioners invariably see them as benevolent, caring, kind and considerate people, and they want to do the best for their community, for their clients, and make a dramatic impact in the health and lives of their clients. And this is true, and this is a profound and powerful position for practitioners to hold. And that's why I'm going to dispel the ultimate myth to become a success in practice. And it's not all about being nice. But before you start jumping up and saying, well, I am nice and I don't want to have to be horrible and mean and have these negative characteristics that undermine who I am as a character and how it is that I have to sacrifice being good to have success. Because it's true that many practitioners feel that there is this state of what we call the genius of the end or the tyranny of the or, that you have to be successful or be kind and good, or that you have to be spiritual or make money. The truth is, that is the tyranny of or, success or kindness. Whereas the reality is, we dispel that myth to replace it with the genius of the and. And the genius of the and says we can be spiritual and successful. We can be genuine, kind, compassionate and nice, and also have financial security. And some of those characteristics, the negative characteristics that are perceived as problematic to people and that we don't want to embody and take on, are actually somewhat necessary as being kind, compassionate, genuine and caring. And we're going to discuss 13 of those characteristics here and how you can see those, and when you see them in the way we'll discuss, will actually bring you a tremendous amount of success. So, the ultimate myth to becoming practice, success isn't about being nice. It's about also recognizing other elements and aspects of yourself. And so, let's get into this. Let's talk about 13 negative characteristics, traits and vices. And they are, the first one is being demanding. And what we're talking about here is not being a demanding person and being high maintenance, being frustrating to other people. It's being demanding of excellence, demanding of yourself high performance, demanding of your team, your support team, your reception, and even your managers, high performance. When you demand excellence of yourself and high performance of your team, you create a tremendously powerful and successful practice. It's when you have low standards, low demands, that things slip through the gaps and that you don't actually produce the outcomes that you want for your team, for your organization, or for your clients. And so being demanding is an essential and integral part of success, and is, though considered a negative trait at times, when turned around in the right way, the right time, for the right reasons, a very powerful trait and is a stepping stone to success. The next negative trait is being uncompromising. Now, we all know that many people frustrate us. They're difficult to get along with because they're uncompromising. They won't do what we want them to do. They won't do what they need to do. In fact, many clients are uncompromising. They won't give up smoking or drinking, giving up the fast food, and it frustrates us and it undermines their health and their quality of life. And because of this, we see uncompromising as a problem. It's almost being argumentative, and yet it can be turned around in the same way as we saw with demanding. Being uncompromising of your standards and your principles ensures your success. If you're a wellness practitioner and you dilute your wellness philosophy by saying, well, this person doesn't want wellness care, I'll just treat their pain this time and hopefully they'll come back. Well, then you've let a person dictate the terms of their care and how you are going to run and operate your practice. Yet, if you decide that you're going to be uncompromising with the standards and principles you practice, you will be willing to turn away clients who are not willing to make the changes necessary to bring about transformation with their health and quality of life. You'll be known for your standards. You'll be respected and regarded for your standards. And this uncompromising position builds your credibility and produces greater success as a result. The next trait is being unreasonable. And again, we frustrate over people who are unreasonable. We talk to them and we try to help them see sense and understand our perspective, and yet they seem to just be so closed-minded, so narrow, that we can't hope to get our message across to them. That's not the type of focus we're talking about here, being unreasonable. We want to be unreasonable in regards to almost being obsessive compulsive, not to the point of stupidity, but being unreasonable with our stubbornness to uphold what is important to us and do what is necessary to achieve the outcomes we want. Somebody might say, don't do this. Well, we're going to be unreasonable and do it because we know it works, we know it's necessary, and it's going to lead us in the direction we want to go. So being unreasonable is a profound and powerful position to come from to ensure your success. Being unreasonable about the vision you have for changing the health and quality of lives of your clients. Be unreasonable about wanting tremendous success for your practice. Be unreasonable about wanting to produce miracles with your clients and having a powerful impact in the community, to be recognised as an expert. Be unreasonable about the grandiose vision you have for your practice, for your team, for your clients, for your community, and don't let anyone sway you. The next negative trait or characteristic is being opportunistic. And again, many people consider this as a very unsavoury position to hold, somebody who takes advantage of other people. When the situation arrives, they make the best of that situation. Well, there's another aspect to that as well. It's being opportunistic to the point of taking chances when the situation arises. When a marketing event is delivered and it produces some good results and you meet somebody for the first time, take the opportunity to talk to them, to build relationship with them, and to have them become clients. Don't feel as though you can't take the opportunities when they come and lead them to the service orientation that wellness practitioners hold. The next trait is about being ruthless and aggressive. Now, I was somewhat reluctant to add aggressive in here because my delightful partner, Hannah, she felt that any promotion of the word aggressive for healthcare practitioners could be misconstrued, could even be undermining of the principles we're endeavouring to communicate here. And ruthless is not too distant a descriptive process away from that. But I want to share something with you about these two words. We're not talking about ruthlessly taking what you can from somebody else to their detriment. You're not talking about aggressively attacking people, hurting people. I would never ever promote any of those elements. What I'm asking you to consider here is to be aggressive with your marketing, aggressive with taking immediate and dramatic action upon what is necessary to produce success in your practice, and being ruthless about eliminating waste, about completely destroying time wasters or money wasters or energy wasters that are robbing you of the opportunity to perform at your peak, to succeed in practice and to serve your community more fully and completely. When you are ruthless and aggressive in doing what is necessary to serve fully and completely, then you are not swayed by all those things that can distract you, that can remove your focus, and that can rob you of both your time, your energy, and the ability to serve and contribute to our community, to making changes in the health and lives of our clients. It takes an incredibly strong practitioner to do this. And there are many practitioners who are frustrated, in fact, they're disillusioned with their practices, with being a practitioner, because their clients are not coming through the door the way they'd like to, or they're not staying, or they're not building their practice, or they're not financially sustainable. It's hurting them, and that's because they have not been ruthless with eliminating time wasters or eliminating things that are not productive in practice, and they have not been aggressive with their marketing, with the communication of the vision they have for their practice, and getting out into the community and making a change. It doesn't have to be this way. You don't have to be a bad person to be ruthless or aggressive. You simply have to be a focused person. The next characteristic or trait to be able to produce success is being insensitive. And the reality of this part is the successful practitioner, the successful person in life often does not care what others think about them. In fact, it was Wayne Dyer who said, "What other people think about me is none of my business." You've got to be insensitive to the concerns of others. You've got to be insensitive to the opinions of others. Because many people are going to say, well, you are doing this aggressive marketing. You're being ruthless with not going to meetings or going out to events that you don't really want to go to. And these people are going to be saying, well, why are you doing this? I thought we were friends. You always come along to these meetings. Yeah, sure, they drag on, and no, there's no real value to going to them, but it's just something we do. But you've ruthlessly cut that out because it's a time waster. You've begun marketing your practice because you want to make a difference, and then people are questioning you. They're challenging you. They're saying, oh, so, it's all about the money, is it? And the reality is it's never been about the money. You care about your community. You want to make a difference. That's why you become a health practitioner. And when these people say these things, you become insensitive to their concerns, their considerations, and to their comments. And you continue to focus upon what you know is important. Your practice of success, because it is that practice of success that changes the health and lives of your community. And that is why you're in practice. And that brings us to the next trait, which has been provocative. This is an amazing trait because most people don't only get irritated at provocative people, they get frustrated at them. And yet, what is it about provocativeness that makes such a powerful impact in producing success in practice? It's about being anti-establishment, being antagonistic towards mediocrity and the status quo. Because the associations, the governing bodies, the professions that we're in tell us that we need to behave in a certain way. Our colleagues, our friends, our family tell us that there are certain things that we should do and ways that we should behave. And yet, mostly, that's what brings us mediocrity. That's what derives the status quo of a mediocre life at best. So we're provocative to succeed. We provoke the status quo. We say we are not going to be like everybody else because if we do what everybody else has done, we're going to be getting what everybody else is getting. And I don't want that for you, and I have certainly not wanted that in my own life. So we provoke the situation where, okay, average or good is acceptable, and we say no. We say no to the average, and we provoke people. We provoke situations to create greatness in our lives and impact the service of our community. Another of the traits is being ignorant. No one likes to be thought of as ignorant. Nobody likes to be thought of as silly or dumb or stupid or any of these traits. And yet, it can be one of the most powerful positions you can come from. Because when you know what you don't know, then that's the opportunity for learning and making an impact. One of the most dangerous words in the English language, or two words actually, are the words I know. Because the moment you say I know, you have shut yourself off. You have already presumed a position and you prevent yourself from learning, growing, and undertaking an adventure of new information to see the world differently. But if you can be ignorant of all the knowledge you have, then you can actually start taking on new information, new knowledge. And with that new information and knowledge, start seeing the world differently. And those differences can make all the difference in the world. So it's not so much about what you know. It's first of what you know you don't know and what you know you do know, and bridging the gap between the two and making more powerful choices as a result. The next trait, and we're up to trait or vice 9 here, is intolerant. I want you to be intolerant, not of people's opinions, not of difficulties or situations as they arise, not of people when they are in pain or having difficulties in their own life. I'm talking about intolerance in respect to your weaknesses and the excuses you make for poor performance. Do not tolerate a weakness. Do not accept your weakness and do not argue from the limitation of that weakness. Be intolerant to the point that you will no longer excuse anything that you do that produces poor performance. You're not going to say, well, I didn't see enough clients today, but the market's slow at the moment. No one's going to, their practitioners, be intolerant of that excuse. But you don't understand this. The practitioners out there know more than I do. Be intolerant of that excuse. No longer tolerate anything that allows you to limit your potential. Also want you to be foolish. I'm not talking about the foolishness of making bad decisions and continuing to make those bad decisions time and again. I'm talking about the foolishness of keeping going when other people tell you to stop or that you shouldn't do that. Because at times, you're going to do things that you know are going to work. I mean, think about it for a moment. Did anybody tell you when you said you're going to become a practitioner that, that's going to be hard, maybe you should consider it, consider doing something else? Or when you opened up your own practice, somebody said, well, that's crazy. You should become an associate and work with someone else for 2 or 5 years to learn the ropes. That's foolish to go into practice. Or when you spend $10,000 or $25,000 on a practice mastery program, so that's crazy. Where are you going to find that money? And to take out a loan for that, that'd be crazy. The foolishness is going to destroy your life. And the reality is, when people call you foolish, when you know what you're going to do is going to be the direction you're meant to be going in, is going to be producing the success that you want for your life, for your practice, and to be able to impact the health and lives of your community, then you're going to keep going even when other people tell you that you shouldn't. Even when they say, don't do that. Your foolishness is going to enable you to persist and succeed. We're getting towards the end here. This trait, laziness. Some practitioners actually embody this in the negative context of this, and they don't do what they need to do. They don't get up early in the morning. They don't take care of their health. They don't take care of their house. They don't do any study, and that laziness is robbing them of success. The type of laziness I want you to be aware of is the fact that you don't need to do everything yourself. You don't have to be the number one person in your practice doing the paperwork, doing the phone calling, doing the finances, doing the filing, doing all of the time to the point of exhaustion, doing all the time so that you rob your life of free time, of recreation, of creativity, of time with your family, with time with exercise. You need to learn how to be lazy enough to leverage other people's knowledge, skills and expertise. You need to be lazy enough to be willing to delegate responsibility, delegate tasks and actions so that other people can contribute and you can find balance. We're on the home straight here, and I want to share another trait. I want to share being unforgiving. And this is so anti-practitioner. We're meant to be forgiving. In fact, we teach our clients all about forgiveness because it's an important aspect of health and well-being. Well, I want you to be unforgiving about your failings. I want you to be fanatical about improvement, not just self-improvement, which practitioners inherently and invariably are. I want you to be fanatical about improvement of your skill sets as a practitioner, fanatical about your improvement of your practice knowledge, your marketing, your sales processes, your management processes. Be unforgiving about the failings you have in these areas and make certain that you make tremendous and dramatic change now for your future. Which brings us to the last, the 13 of the negative characteristics, traits or vices that you must have in order to succeed in practice. And that is being forgetful. Now, I've just spoken about being unforgiving of your failings, but I also want you to be forgetful of the feelings you've had around those failings. The past does not equal the future. You might feel like a failure because you've made errors, because you're not seeing the client numbers you want, that your practice isn't producing the money that you'd like it to. Forget these feelings. Forget them now and recognize that when you make choices, the choices we're talking about in this program and that are discussed throughout all of the materials of the Practice Mastery program, that you can lead a journey to success. By forgetting the past, you make space and way for the future, a powerful future, a compelling future, a successful future. And the really interesting thing, because unforgiving and forgetful are paradoxical, they're contrarian, which is the bonus trait. I just wanted to bring that together because how can you be unforgiving yet forgetful? They are the polar opposites. If you forgive somebody, then you've forgotten. But if you're unforgiven, you haven't forgotten. Yet I'm asking you to polarize those. And that's why to succeed you must be contrarian. You must be doing what other people are not doing. Just like wealth creation is generally considered most successful when you're doing contrarian investing, when the stock market is going down, that's when you buy. When the property market is low, that's when you buy. Yet everybody sells and sells and sells when the stock market is crashing. And when the house prices are going down, they sell again because, they buy at the peak because that's what people do. But the contrarian investor, the true master of success, does the opposite. So I wanted to share that. You've got to be doing what other people are not doing. And if other practitioners are not looking for success in their life, that's because they don't know where to look or how to look. But this information is brought to you by the Practice Mastery Institute with the purpose of bringing acknowledgement to the fact that there is a pathway to success. And your pathway to success is reaching out to people who know how to bring success into your practice, into your life, so you can serve more fully and completely. And to do that, I invite you to take action today, to find the success you deserve, to do what is most powerful and meaningful in your life. You became a practitioner to help people, to change their life. And to do that, you need to see more clients. You need to know how to run and operate a practice more successfully. You need to know how to market effectively, how to communicate compellingly. And that's why we have made the Practice Mastery Institute. The Practice Mastery Institute is the first online flexible learning system for healthcare practitioners that is absolutely and unequivocally guaranteed to transform their practice, to produce meaningful, powerful and dramatic success now and in the future. So I invite you to go to www.practicemastery.com.au. At our website, you will find an absolute wealth of information on how to transform your practice and your life to its ultimate potential. You will find free resources, videos, educational information on practice success, and this will lead you to the direction of doing what it is that you want to do in practice and succeed in practice. And it embodies these 13 negative characteristics, which you've now seen are really positive traits to build your success. When you go to the Practice Mastery website, I will share with you that there are a lot of free resources there that are going to enable you to access tremendous influences in how you produce success in practice. And I invite you, as I said, to go there. When you do, I would encourage you to sign up for our newsletter, because that will give you monthly information and education about transforming your practice. And as a result, success will be yours. Once again, I'm Marcus Chakos, founder of the Practice Mastery Institute, author of the Practice Mastery Institute's best-selling book, How to Become an Expert in Your Field, and producer of this tongue-in-cheek webinar, The 13 Negative Characteristics, Traits and Vices You Must Have to Succeed in Practice. I'm looking forward to seeing you at the Practice Mastery website, perhaps on the forum in one of our programs. I wish you every success on your journey. This is Marcus Chakos for the Practice Mastery team.
That doesn't record with the changes, does it?
Yeah.
It does.
So that didn't use any of my memory, and that's now done.
Well, did it record then if it didn't use any memory?
Yeah, you'll see. Stop recording. It's already stopped. We're done.